Welcome to Motivational Humanity. You are not alone.
Have you ever walked away from a conversation? Maybe with someone you've known for decades, maybe with your own child, and felt completely hollowed out, not angry, not sad exactly, just empty, like something invisible had reached inside you, quietly taken everything it needed, and left without saying thank you. And the strangest part? You can't always explain what happened. The words were normal. Nothing was technically wrong. But you walked away feeling smaller than when you arrived. If that sounds familiar, if you've been living inside that quiet exhaustion, I want you to stay with me today. Because what happened to you has a name, and there is a way through it. You have lived a life, a full life. You have raised people, buried people, loved people who didn't love you back the way you deserved. You have sacrificed things quietly, kept families together with sheer will and grace. You have been the person everyone called when they were falling apart. And you did all of that, all of it, while carrying your own grief, your own longing, your own questions that nobody ever thought to ask you. So let me ask you right now, who takes care of you? Women in their 50s, 60s, and 70s are often in one of the most emotionally complex seasons of life. The children are grown, but the dynamics haven't always grown with them. Marriages have shifted, friendships have changed shape, and sometimes the people who were supposed to be your safe harbor have become the very source of your storm. You are not imagining it. You are not being dramatic. You are not too sensitive. What you are is exhausted from years of walking on eggshells, managing someone else's emotions, and shrinking yourself to make the room feel safer for everyone except you. Today, I want to talk about something called the gray rock method. It sounds clinical. The name is a little strange, I know, but the wisdom inside it is ancient, and it is exactly what some of us need right now. This is not about revenge. It is not about being cold or shutting the world out. It is about learning how to protect your peace, quietly, steadily, and with deep dignity. Imagine you're walking along a path, and the ground is covered in rocks. Some are shiny, glittering, catching the light, drawing your eye. Those are the ones you pick up. You examine them, you put them in your pocket. But the gray rocks, you walk right past them. They don't offer you anything dramatic. They don't catch the light. They're simply there. The gray rock method is built on this exact understanding of human psychology. There are certain people in our lives, and psychologists sometimes call them high conflict personalities or people with narcissistic patterns, who are, in a very real sense, fueled by your reaction. Your tears are interesting to them. Your anger gives them a reward. Your anxiety is information they can use. They are drawn to the shiny rock. So the gray rock method asks one simple but profound question: what if you became the most uninteresting thing in the room? Not cold, not rude, not dramatically distant. Just neutral, calm, unremarkable, a gray rock on the path. When you stop giving someone the emotional reaction they're looking for, you stop feeding the dynamic that hurts you. This is not manipulation. This is self-preservation. And for women who have spent a lifetime being emotionally available for everyone around them, this is often the most radical act of self-love they will ever practice. Here is something I want you to understand, because it might just change how you see yourself. If you keep getting drawn back into conversations that hurt you, if you keep trying to explain yourself, defend yourself, reach someone who doesn't seem to want to be reached, you are not weak. You are not foolish. You are human, and your nervous system is working exactly as it was designed to. There's a psychological process called intermittent reinforcement. It was first discovered in the 1950s by a behaviorist named B.F. Skinner, and it explains something very important about why we cannot seem to let go of painful relationships. Here's how it works in plain terms. When someone is sometimes kind and sometimes cruel, sometimes loving and sometimes cold, your brain does not decide to stop caring about them. It actually becomes more attached. It enters a kind of low, grade waiting state, always anticipating the next moment of warmth. Think about a slot machine. You don't get a reward every time you pull the lever, but you keep pulling because maybe this time. That's your nervous system. It was never broken. It was trained by years of a relationship where love was unpredictable, where approval came and went like weather, where you never quite knew which version of that person you were going to get today. This is not weakness. This is neuroscience. And understanding this is the first step to practicing gray rock, because when you understand why the pull is so strong, you stop blaming yourself for feeling it. Let me tell you about a woman I'll call Patricia. Patricia was 67. She had 3 grown children, and one of them, her son, had always been difficult, volatile, critical in ways that felt personal and sharp, quick to anger, slower to apologize. For years, Patricia kept trying. She called. She explained. She apologized for things that weren't her fault. She analyzed every conversation late into the night, trying to figure out what she had done wrong. When she learned about gray rock, she felt a flicker of hope. Finally, a strategy, a tool, something to hold on to. But when she started practicing it, something unexpected happened. She felt grief. Deep, quiet grief. Because becoming a gray rock meant finally accepting something she had been fighting for decades. This relationship is not going to be what I need it to be. That is a real loss. The loss of the relationship you always wanted. The loss of the version of your child, or your spouse, or your sibling that you kept hoping would finally show up. No strategy, no matter how wise, can skip over that grief. You have to feel it. The gray rock method is not a way to avoid pain. It is a way to stop generating new pain while you heal from the old kind. If you're grieving right now, that's not failure. That is love. That is the love you gave that deserved to be met differently. Let yourself grieve. And then, gently let yourself protect. Knowing the theory is one thing, but sitting across from your daughter-in-law at Thanksgiving, or answering a phone call from someone who always leaves you feeling raw, that is another thing entirely. The practice has 3 simple pillars. First, keep your responses short, factual, and boring. When someone who drains you asks how you're doing, you don't have to open your heart. You can say, "I'm fine, thank you," not cold, not punishing, just neutral. When they push for more, for a reaction, for information they can use later, you don't have to give it. "I haven't thought much about it." Or simply, You are not lying. You are choosing what to share and with whom. Second, remove the emotional charge from your body and your voice. If your voice is tight, if your jaw is clenched, if your eyes are filling, the words don't matter. They will still reach for that reaction. This is why gray rock is not just a communication technique. It is a nervous system practice. Before difficult interactions, breathe slowly and remind yourself, I am safe. I do not need to perform my emotions for anyone today. Third, limit the personal information you share. This is a hard one because we are taught that closeness means openness. But with a high conflict person, your personal details, your hopes, your worries, your joys can become ammunition. You are allowed to have a private interior life. A woman named Dorothy, 71, had a sister who always found a way to make her feel small. No matter what Dorothy shared, a new hobby, a health worry, a moment of pride, her sister diminished it. So Dorothy got quiet, not angry quiet, just selective. She stopped offering the shiny rocks. I didn't lose my sister, she told me. I just stopped handing her the knife. I want to address something directly because I know some of you are sitting with this discomfort right now. Doesn't this make me unloving? Doesn't this make me just like them? Closed off, unavailable, withholding. No, and here is why. There is a profound difference between being emotionally closed and being emotionally boundaried. A closed person has no softness left. They don't feel. They don't love. They have protected themselves by building a wall so high that nothing gets in or out. A boundaried person, which is what you are becoming, still loves deeply. They still have a full, rich emotional life. They still cry at sunsets and laugh at small things and ache for the people they care about. They have simply learned where to bring those emotions and who is trustworthy enough to receive them. The psychologist Bessel van der Kolk wrote something that has stayed with me: the body keeps the score. He meant that our nervous systems remember every moment we were unsafe. When we keep returning to people and environments that harm us, our body pays the price. In anxiety, in insomnia, in the bone, deep fatigue you might recognize in yourself right now. You have been paying that price for a long time. Choosing gray rock is not choosing numbness. It is choosing to stop writing checks your heart cannot cash. It is saying, I love you, but I love myself too. And I have learned, finally, that those two things do not have to be in competition. That is not coldness. That is the deepest kind of wisdom, the kind that only comes with age, with scar tissue, with the particular clarity that arrives when you've been patient long enough and finally decide that your peace matters. You are not starting over. Please hear that. You are not a woman at the beginning of her story, figuring out who she is. You are a woman who knows who she is, and who is finally, beautifully, fiercely choosing to honor that. The gray rock method is not a defeat. It is not giving up on love. It is not becoming someone you don't recognize. It is the art of protecting your light. Because here is the truth that took me a long time to fully believe: you cannot pour into people who put holes in your cup. You can try. God knows you have tried. But it doesn't work. It was never supposed to. Your peace is not a reward you earn after everyone else is settled. It is not something you get to feel once you've fixed enough people, or said exactly the right thing, or finally made them understand. Your peace is a birthright. You have spent decades, literal decades, giving your energy, your patience, your wisdom, your grace to other people. You have shown up in ways that most people couldn't manage. Now I am asking you to show up for yourself. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly, the way you've done everything else, like a gray rock. Steady, solid, unshakable. Let the storms pass over you. Let the chaos swirl. And you stay calm, you stay whole. Because here is what I know about women who have lived as long and as deeply as you have. You are not fragile. You only sometimes feel fragile. Because you've been carrying too much for too long with too little support. But underneath all of that, there is a woman who survived things that would break other people. A woman who knows how to love fiercely and wisely. A woman who has earned every gray hair, every quiet morning, every hard one moment of peace. That woman, you. She doesn't need to fight for her peace. She just needs to remember she always had it. And today is a beautiful day to remember. Before I go, I want to ask you to do one small but powerful thing. In the comments below, I want you to type 3 words: I am reclaiming my peace. If today's video touched something in you, if you saw yourself in any of these stories, please share it with a friend who might need it. We women have always healed best in community. We have always been each other's medicine. If you're new here, welcome. This is a space for women who are done being invisible, who are ready to be seen by themselves first. Subscribe if you want to keep going deeper together. Every week we do this work side by side. And until next time, be gentle with yourself. Be patient with your healing.